Hey everybody, welcome to this quick full body yoga feel good flow. This is perfect if you have some stress or tension in the body and you want to incorporate some movement and bring some lightness into the body. So we'll get started at the top of the mat, and as you inhale, your arms come out wide, reaching up towards the sky and bending at the waist. You'll come to fold over your legs, letting your arms come down, and your head and neck will release. So give your head and neck a shake just to make sure they're not clinging onto any tension here. And grab opposite elbows with opposite hands and let your breath carry you from side to side. Scanning the back of your body all the way from the area behind your ankles, up the backs of your legs, through the backs of the glutes, up the back of the spine, up the back of the neck. As you inhale, come halfway up, looking forward with a flat back. As you exhale, come down, and we'll take the right leg behind you. So bringing that knee down to the ground, we're going to come into low lunge. So the back toes untuck, and as you inhale, you reach your arms up towards the sky, sinking your pelvis down and forward. Fingertips are long and straight, reaching for the sky. Breathing deeply here, sinking a little bit further into that front knee as you breathe. And on an exhale, come down, placing your hands on opposite sides of that front foot. And you'll walk the left foot just a bit towards the left side of the mat, taking the left fingertips inside the foot. Tuck your back toes and come into a lizard pose. So you can stay up here on your hands if that feels good. If you're quite familiar with this pose, you can feel free to sink down to forearms, and you might need to walk your foot out just a bit wider to accommodate the lowering of your hips. And take some nice deep breaths here. Breathing into your hips and your lower back. And if you'd like, take some movement from side to side. Notice if that feels good in your body. And if it does, do that, because today's practice is all about finding what feels good and creating space within. So lower that back knee, and you can be up on your hands or down on your forearms, whichever your preference is. And as you inhale, you'll reach back your left hand, reaching towards the right toes. So grabbing onto the right toes, you can place the tops of the toes into the palm of your hand and breathe. So if you don't have your toes, that is fine as well. Just reach towards them. And if you do have your toes, lift your chest up towards the sky and take some deep breaths in and out and release. So taking that left hand down to the mat, we're going to walk this left foot in, putting both hands on either side of that front foot, and you'll straighten the back leg. So coming into a pyramid pose, folding over that left leg. You may need blocks here. If your fingertips cannot comfortably touch the ground, you may need to use some blocks, so feel free to pause the video and get those if you need. And if your fingertips are on the ground, let your head and your neck go as you fold, forehead towards knee. And breathing in and out through the nose. And we're keeping our hips pointing forward, so we're not having the hips open to the side. They're square to the top of the mat. And you can feel free to bend the back knee a little bit as you sink back, still keeping your fingers plugged in. Straighten the back leg. So playing around here, finding some movement if this feels good for you. Inhaling, coming back. Exhaling, coming forward. And now bend that front left knee, keeping your fingertips on the ground. Walk that back leg out just a bit. As you inhale, come up into your high lunge, opening up into your warrior two. So your front toes face the front of the mat, and then the back foot is parallel to the back edge of the mat. Belly button pulls in, shoulder blades squeeze together on the back. As you inhale, bring the left forearm down to the top of the left thigh. Right arm reaches over top of your head. Take a nice deep breath in here. Listen to the sound of your breathing. If you're familiar with Ujjayi breath, activate your Ujjayi breath. If not, I'll link a video at the top of this video, and you can visit that after this practice. As you inhale, come up, and we're going to reverse. So that back hand comes down onto the right leg. Left arms reach, still maintaining a bend through the left knee. Breathing into the left side of the body. And as you inhale, we'll spiral the hands all the way down, framing the front foot and stepping yourself back into downward facing dog. Letting your head and neck go, pedaling out your feet, breathing and finding some movement here. Notice how your body's feeling. And if you are moving your feet, keep them still, heels reach down towards your mat. They don't have to touch. They're moving down, or they're reaching down towards the mat, and you're breathing. Now look up towards your hands, and you can walk your feet. If hopping is part of your practice, you could hop up to the top of the mat. Inhale to come halfway up. Exhale to forward fold. We'll do the same thing on the other side now. So the right foot will stay forward, and we'll step back the left foot. Bringing the left knee down. As you inhale, got a lot of hair, reach your arms up, sinking that left hip down and forward. Hands are reaching tall. Your glutes are active so that you're not dumping into the lower back. Your glutes are helping to keep you upright and stable here. And your breath is ever so important. And coming back through center, hands can come down to the mat or the forearms, depending on what you did last time. The left leg will bend. Reach around for that foot with your right hand. And breathe. Left hip continues to sink down towards the mat. And find some softness in your face and your jaw and your mouth. And release. So that right hand reaches forward, placing your hand on the mat. Your right toes now face forward. You lift yourself up, coming into pyramid pose with your right foot at the front, both legs straight, forehead reaching towards the knee, and breathing deep into the hips. Noticing how this side of the body feels, maybe compared to the other side of the body. But being mindful that we don't pass any judgments, because it's quite normal that different sides of your body feel different. We tend to be more dominant with one side of our bodies too. Just like we have a dominant hand, we have a dominant side of the body and dominant leg that we may use a little bit more, whether we realize it or not. Make sure your head and neck are nice and released here as you breathe. And go ahead and experiment with the bending of your back knee, the bending and straightening, and breathing as you do so. Pressing down into your feet, feeling your strength. You will bend the left leg. Inhale to come up, rising into a high lunge. Back glute is plugged in as you press through the back left heel. Inhale through your chest. And open up into warrior two. So shoulder blades squeeze together. You make sure your knee is not caving in, your knee stays open, pointing forward. Looking out over that straight and strong right arm, right past the right fingertips. Staying focused on your steady breath. We'll bring the right hand down to the top of the right thigh. Left arm arcs over the head, looking up and under the left arm, if that's okay for your neck. Feeling length through the left side body. Inhale to come back through center and reverse. So we'll keep the front knee bent as we reverse. Left fingertips come down to the left thigh or somewhere on the left leg, and the right fingertips reach up and over the head. We breathe through the right side waist, maintaining the bend in our front knee. And on a big inhale, sweep your hands down, framing that front foot. Step yourself back into downward facing dog. Let the head and neck go. Maybe take some audible exhales through the mouth, pedaling out the feet once again. One heel lifts, the other heel lowers. Feel free to get kind of silly here if you want. You can make horse lips, stick out your tongue. Our faces need to be stretched, and we don't often do that. So make any shapes with your face that feel good. And come to stillness. Take one more inhale in through the nose. And exhale out through the mouth. And draw your knees down, coming into a quadruped position. As you inhale, we're going to take a cat and a cow. So we look up towards the sky. Exhale, pulling your belly button to spine. Go as fast or as slow as feels good to your body. You can really exaggerate the movement here. We'll take one more inhale and arch. Exhale and round. And then we'll guide our hips back towards our heels, coming into child's pose, bringing that forehead to kiss the mat. Breathing in and out through your nose, into your hips, allowing them to get heavy and to sink back and down. And listening to the sound of your own breath. Send yourself gratitude for doing this practice. And if you'd like to get out of the pose, you can slowly roll yourself up. Or stay here for however long feels good. Namaste.